Hello ladies and gentlemen, Cade here for Ravencroft Guitars, and welcome to episode 2 of the Great Guitar Build-Off. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been following the build and supporting. The first episode at the time that I'm recording this has almost 100 views, and I don't know that many friends and family, so some of you guys are strangers. So thank you. Honestly, it's already more support than I was expecting. So yeah, it's been fantastic. The Instagram is blowing up, so thank you very, very much. In the last episode, we got the body top cut out, and we put in the coffee beans and the resin, and where we left off was that there was a massive leak, and the video didn't even capture how bad it was. I have a large puddle of solid resin on my furnace room floor that I'm going to have to clean up at some point, and a shelf that's going to probably just need to be replaced. I think I'm going to have to take the whole thing apart, but whatever. It is what it is. What we ended up with is this beast that weighs a metric ton. So the resin, when it was leaking, at some point got underneath and is now under the wood. So we have to deal with that. I'm going to have to build a router sled, which I'm going to do off camera because this isn't the great router sled build-off. But the other side that's covered in coffee beans looks pretty awesome. I'm still not sure if I'm going to smooth this out and then put resin over top of that so it has cut beans, or if I'm going to just put the resin on top and leave the whole bean look. I'll bring this up to the camera so you can see, but let me know what you think. Yeah, so plan for this video, I want to get this all cleaned up and ready to go, maybe put in my bevel on the lower bout wing, and then I want to get started on the neck. I'm a little nervous about it. I've never built a neck before in my life. But yeah, so we have this awesome piece of maple that weighs a metric ton that I'm going to have to cut down and all that jazz and get the neck started. And then I've got somewhere, I don't know where I put it, there we go. Then I've got my beautiful Chechen that is going to be our fretboard. And then I'm thinking that I might take the leftover parts of Chechen, because I'm going to have quite a bit left over, and I might make a woodworker's mallet out of it, so I have some real chiseling abilities. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan for this episode. We'll see how much I actually get done. Once again, thank you everybody for all the support, and yeah, if you have any suggestions or things that you think I could be doing differently, let me know in the comments. Again, I fully support all constructive criticism and good-natured ribbing. So yeah, thank you so much guys, and enjoy the rest of the episode. So now we're going to do a really thin layer on top just to smooth it out, make it a little more comfortable. This time I'm trying the tape dam. Do I think it's going to work? Not even a little bit. Do I think it's going to make a gigantic mess? Absolutely. We're going to do it anyways? Yeah. And why? Because nobody ever got anywhere worth going without taking a few risks. And I'm back in my my furnace room. So if I make another mistake, it's really just one big mistake instead of two. And one big mess is better than two small messes. So, excuse the noise of my hot water heater kicking on, but yeah. Won't lie guys, feeling pretty discouraged. lots of imperfections with this. As you can see, I've got some empty space underneath where it all floated. Resin pouring is proving once again to be my nemesis. And with this, if I get it unstuck, I've made just a total mess of the front. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants to scrap it and start over. There's a lot of little things, like even on the front, if I flip this over, you can see that like my join line where I put the two pieces of wood together is not centered. There's my line there. I don't know. Big old mess at this point, and kind of wondering if I should even be in the competition at all, but we'll see. One of those days, I guess. Man, look at that clear. Just empty space. Yeah. Alright, so made a whole bunch of sawdust, but I think the body is more or less roughed out. Knock on guitar. Yeah, I've got my bevel here, and I've got to say that's super comfortable. I'm not crazy about the transition in the corner here, but I can still play around with that. Other than that, I've got a few spots around the side where the resin spilled over that I'm just gonna sand off and clean up so that the stain will still take. But yeah, as far as the top, it's good to go. Just need to start drilling cavities and stuff, which is scary. For the back, I threw it out on Instagram to see what people thought, and about 2/3 of people figured I should sand it flat rather than leaving it textured and bumpy. So that's what I ended up doing. I sanded it flat. I really wanted to keep that textured whole bean look, however, it just wasn't working out. Fortunately though, in the middle here, there is still some whole beans that were lower than everywhere else. So I'm hoping that when I put a thin layer of resin on just to seal everything, it'll clean it up and it'll almost have like a coffee bean sunburst kind of look. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the spots around the side that are clear and empty. Trying to see if there's one here that I can show you. Yeah. So if you can see this on camera, there's empty spot there, basically where the coffee beans floated, and now there's just this gross greenish brown resin layer. So what I'm debating doing is, rather than doing the binding around the top or around the back, do it almost as like an inlay and do it in the middle to kind of act as like a buffer between the beans and the wood, which would then cover up that empty spot. Because it's not just there, there's a fair few spots around the sides where either there weren't enough beans or they just floated and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do that to steal a saying from Adam Savage, hide my crimes a little bit. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it so far. It's not perfect, but it was never going to be. Very few things that I do are. But I'm thinking I might set this aside for a little bit and get to work on the neck, which is terrifying. But here we go. Thanks. Could have done without that.
I figured this was a pretty good place to stop. I'll continue working on the neck when I'm done cleaning out my shorts. Thank you everybody for watching this series. Like I said, it means the world to me to have so much support. I really didn't think that anybody was going to watch my videos, let alone 200 of you at the time of editing this video. I'm pretty happy with how the body is turning out. It's not perfect, but it was never going to be. I can't wait to see how the neck turns out, and I never want to touch a table saw again. I've got to stop ending videos with disaster. Thanks, everybody.